Hello plant friends, my name is Jonathan Sutherland and welcome to the Planty Show. If you are not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, you can do so by clicking the button right below. If you like today's video, feel free to leave a thumbs up. Every like helps me a lot and is very appreciated. On today's episode of the Planty Show, I have something very special for you guys. Today, I have the great opportunity of interviewing a Canadian military veteran that also happens to be a true plant enthusiast. After serving in the military for 22 years, Kristen has become an entrepreneur by creating her own plant business, Sweet Life Flora. On October 10th of this year, she also published her first book titled Propagated from the Ashes. Through her book, we get to know more about her personal journey and her love for mindful horticulture. I am very excited today to have the chance to talk with Kristen and share with you all a little bit information about her. If ever you would also like to discover her book, you can follow the link down below to purchase a copy of it. You will also be able to find in the description a link to her online store, Sweet Life Flora, and her Instagram account. Without further ado, let's go ahead and meet my friend, Kristen Totem. Hello, Kristen.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. You?
I love your hat.
Thank you very much.
It's awesome.
I would first of all like to thank you for taking your time of chatting with me today.
Oh no, thank you. Like, this is incredible for me.
I personally enjoyed reading your book. I found it very inspiring to follow your journey, and I am very excited to share a bit of information regarding your book and who you are with my viewers.
Sounds lovely.
For the first part of your interview today, my question will be mainly about your book and your journey, if that's okay with you.
Perfect. I'm excited.
The book. Awesome. My first question for you today is, what inspired you to go ahead and write a book?
So for me, I'd never actually thought that I would be a good author. I was an engineer in my previous life, and I was terrible at writing. Actually, I started my PhD, and one of the reasons why I didn't end up finishing it was because I suck at writing.
Okay.
But it was because I wasn't writing about the right thing.
Okay.
So I guess it was about 3 years after my concussion, I got to thinking and talking to a few people, and I realized that a lot of people in the plant community are here because of something that made them need to find another purpose. So whether it's something traumatic that happened to them, a life event, or even just COVID, which is a significant life event, has pushed people into the plant community, which is so incredible that they chose our community. It's inspiring that they chose our community, but ultimately that's why I turned to plants too.
There is a lot of people with the COVID and all the stuff doing horticulture, indoor horticulture, and this is incredible.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. It's pushed people to want to brighten up their indoor spaces. The other reason why I wrote it is because I realized that there's not a lot of information about, there's a lot of academic information about concussions, but there's not a lot of information about concussions from the point of view of the person who's gone through the recovery. Yes. So I have a friend who's a surgeon, a brain surgeon actually over in Poland. And she told me that she specifically wanted to read my book because she's never read a book from the patient's side of view.
Okay.
Yeah, so
that's interesting.
Yeah, those are the two reasons why I wrote the book. I wanted to help other people, and I wanted to let other people in the plant community know that I completely understand why they're here.
Yes, exactly. That's a good idea to write a book about that. Um, it is super fun that you did it because it is such another point of view about that, and this is super awesome.
Yeah, I'm really happy with how it's been received so far, and I've gotten a lot of great feedback. So it's heartwarming to me to know that I did something that could potentially help other people.
Yes, it helps me. So
Awesome.
taking into consideration that you suffered a traumatic brain injury followed by important memory losses in December 2016, how has this influenced the writing process of your book? Was it a challenge to remember some parts of your life for your book?
Absolutely. So the whole part where I explain what happened to me actually only came back to me in bits and pieces. I had really significant losses in the long-term memory from about like 2010 to 2016. It's a weird range, but that part of my life was effectively like almost blank. But it came back piece by piece as my brain started to put itself back together. Um, I think one of the biggest things that I struggled with after my concussion was people telling me that they'd had a conversation with me about something, but I couldn't remember it. I was like, maybe, sure.
That that's weird. That
Yeah, it is. It's a
yes,
weird feeling.
yes.
It's a bit of an out of body experience because you're like, I could have said that, but at the same time, I wasn't telling anybody that there was something wrong with me. So they just assumed that I knew we'd had that discussion, but no, no.
That's crazy.
And I felt terrible because I felt like I was being a bad friend, a bad wife, a bad coworker because I just couldn't remember or recall what had happened.
Oh, that's not fun.
No, it's so much better now, and recovery takes time, but when it comes back, it's back. And
Okay.
as long as you're patient with the process, you may lose some stuff forever, but it was obviously stuff that wasn't super important. The important stuff comes back.
Could you sum up in a few words the inspiration behind the title of your book, Propagated from the Ashes?
So what actually inspired me was about the same time that I was writing the book was all the Australian forest fires. And there
Okay.
was these amazing pictures of these beautiful forests, but then they were completely stomped to ash by the fires. But peeking through the bottom would be these beautiful flowers that happened and that came out and were rejuvenated by the fire. So I feel my traumatic story is a little bit like that. Like I I was a person that had specific qualities before my injury, and then all of a sudden after my injury, it was like I was burnt down, like I was starting from scratch. And when I came through, when I was propagated from the ashes, I found out that I wasn't the same person, but I really could still love myself and be a good person.
This is this is amazing. Like the idea of the title, I really enjoyed the idea of the title.
Thank you so much. It was actually what started the whole thing. Is
This
I thought of the title before I even thought of like how I was going to put it together.
yes, but this is like the best title ever.
Thank you.
I really loved it. In your book, you talk about a lot of mindful horticulture. I would
Mhm.
like to know, how did your passion for plants start? How does this hobby help you in your daily life?
So my passion for plants started, I was always a hobby horticulturalist.
Okay.
So I would, because I'm in the military, I was in the military, I moved from place to place to place. But what came with me all the time was my small plant collection. And it's sort of a bit of a record of my career because I had some plants since like I graduated from university in 2002 from the military college. And they've just followed me. Um, I actually came from a family that was African violet connoisseurs. Not that they would eat them, but that they collected them. They were like my Nana. She had this table that was covered in plastic with African violets. And since she's passed on, they've gone to my sister. So plants have been a little bit in my blood. But after my concussion, I needed to redefine myself, and I needed to relearn how to take care of something else before I could take care of myself. So I put all of my focus into my plants. Like literally, I would spend like 4 to 5 hours a day when I was recovering with my plants because they made me feel good. I always felt like I was doing something good for them. And it took my mind off the fact that I wasn't really that great, you know? So the whole concept of mindful horticulture came about because my therapist at the time said, Kristen, have you ever thought of trying mindfulness or even meditation? So I had dabbled in meditation, but I never had the patience to actually just sit there and meditate. But then I read a book by a Thai Buddhist monk, and in it, he said that mindfulness should be applied to your entire day, every single task that you do. So that got me thinking about what I was doing with my plants. Effectively, because I had problems thinking about the past and thinking about the future was actually quite difficult for me. I was staying in the present and I was staying mindful with my plants, and it was actually helping me. So I just wanted to let everyone out there know that there is a way forward for you to become functionally mindful if you are not very good at sitting still and meditating. Just even if you're fixing your car, you're doing horticulture, you're washing the dishes, all of those can be done mindfully. It's just a matter of doing it with intention and with keeping your mind on the present, only what you're looking at right then, and doing it the best you absolutely can.
Absolutely. I am absolutely with you on that. Plants help me so much with my anxiety and
Mhm.
my mental health. It is a great source of recovery, or just,
Absolutely.
just being just being with my plants. It helps me. It helps me so much. It is
It's
such.
self-care.
Yes, exactly, exactly. And I think everyone should have a passion for something like that because it is
Absolutely. I totally
beautiful.
agree.
Yeah, it is beautiful for us to have this in our heart and for our mental health. This is,
Absolutely.
yeah,
I
exactly.
think the plant community is one of the most peaceful and kind communities that there is. Like, sure, we've got some Karens here and there, but honestly, I could not have asked for a better community over social media. Everyone is so supportive, so helpful, is always willing to like lend a hand in figuring out what you need to do for plant care. It's amazing. I could not have asked for a better community.
Yes, exactly. I began last year collecting plants, and it was an overflow of love and respect and all the stuff.
Absolutely.
I really enjoy the plant community so much.
And then all of that you take in and you can give back to your plants. Like,
Exactly.
it's incredible. I've never been a spiritual person before, but I definitely feel I feel lifted up when I'm chatting with people in the plant community. When I'm talking to you for this
That,
interview, like it lifts me up.
me too. It is such an amazing community for real, and I absolutely love the fact that everyone is respectful and yes,
Everyone's welcome.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Um, Regarding your journey, you have had the opportunity to participate in a program for the Canadian military veterans. Can
Yep.
you share with us a little bit of information about this program and what has this opportunity you added to your personal journey?
I am so thankful that you've asked this question. So Operation Entrepreneur is a nonprofit organization that's run by the Prince's Trust. So Prince Charles is in charge of designating how this organization will work in Canada and all the other Commonwealth countries. And one of the avenues for this nonprofit is giving business training to veterans who want to start their own business once they get out of the military. So coming from an engineering background, I wasn't really good at things like marketing and social media and accounting. So they gave me those skills and they taught me how to network once I'm out of the military, because a lot of my friends and a lot of my friend group are military people. So I really learned how to like have business conversations with people who are not military, don't have a military background. Believe it or not, I've been in the military since I was 17. So I just turned 40 yesterday.
You look younger than that.
I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes.
But I had to learn how to be an adult outside of the military, because I wasn't an adult when I joined. So it was a huge experience. They also have this program called buyveteran. So if you go to buyveteran.ca, you will get a directory of all the veteran-owned businesses. And there's almost 500 of them in Canada that are registered for the directory. So if you're looking for getting your car wrapped, getting your car fixed, plants, crafts, coffee, beer. We seem to have a lot of breweries. It's a theme, it's a running theme. You can find a veteran-owned business in your area. It's searchable by region. It's been so fantastic.
Yes, I saw that. I began to search with your name and doing my research, and I found that website with your profile and everything you've done. And
They've been super good about helping me promote my business, but also like raising awareness of what it took for me to get here. So
okay,
I was really lucky that I plugged into the program about a year before I released from the military. So I was able to like seamlessly transition out of the military into my business. I did a mentorship program with them where I linked in with a Canadian businessman. He was actually like in finance and did a lot of like hedge fund management, totally different business. But he helped me immensely understand what I need to do to start my small business, what I need to do to, you know, get all the paperwork in place and how to incorporate a business. Like, couldn't have done it without him.
this is hard to decide to go on a new journey with a new business, and I think
It is.
yeah, exactly, when you retire of your career and you decide to go with your own business, I think I think it I don't
It's a
know how to,
leap of faith.
yeah, exactly,
Faith
it's
in yourself, faith that the idea that you've thought of for your business is actually like a good idea. You know, like I remember I was applying for jobs right after I got injured, and I was applying to all the same type of jobs that I had in the military. Engineering jobs, operationally focused, you know, like all in that stream. And finally my sister and my friend were like, Kristen, what are you doing? Like, you need to do something with your plants because that's what makes you happy.
yes,
What you did
exactly.
before isn't who you are anymore. So having that group of people and those friends who are willing to say, hey, kick you in the butt and actually give you an idea for what you should be doing, I couldn't have done it without them.
That's amazing. That's amazing because your website and your business is incredible.
I try to be as honest and straightforward as I can with who I am. And I hope that it can help people, you know, be okay with who they are and want to get into plants, because anybody can get into plant. There's no such thing as a black thumb.
Yeah, exactly. There is no green thumb. It is just that you have to search for the information about a plant and give them what they need. This
Yeah.
plant, my mother always kept saying to me that you have a green thumb, and No, I don't think so. I just think that I did my research
You have
with
a
that plant.
passion.
Exactly. It is a passion, and it is not that you have a green thumb or whatever. It is not that at all.
You're not naturally gifted with the gift of horticulture. You have
Exactly.
to want it.
Yes, exactly. It's like drawing.
Mhm.
You could have a talent drawing, but it is not, because with practice and stuff you will learn to draw correctly,
Mhm.
you know?
Absolutely. It
Exactly
takes
the
time,
same. Yes,
commitment, effort. And this is just how I choose to spend my time, commitment and effort.
exactly. On a personal note, if you could go back in time and give younger Kristen one piece of advice, what would that be?
Okay, so I know everyone says this, but be okay. Okay, so there's a couple of things, two things actually. The first one is be okay to take a risk. Like starting my own business, I couldn't have done without a friend telling me that's what I needed to do. The second thing is it's okay to say you're not okay. Um, I have always been that person who was afraid of being judged if something was not right with me. And it took me a really long time to get help on the mental health side. Like injury, it's an invisible injury. And
Yes.
people need to be okay with recognizing that your brain is part of your body and it can be injured and not okay too.
Yes, exactly. I
Yeah,
didn't get any injury, brain injury or stuff, but with my anxiety and depression and stuff, it is so hard to tell people that you suffer. Like it is,
absolutely.
it
And
is,
you don't
a
want to
true.
feel like a burden on them.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to feel that way, and I am seeing myself in your book and yourself. It is kind of weird, but
Listen,
it.
I go through anxiety. I went through depression. Just because mine was like caused by a brain injury doesn't mean that I don't understand where you're coming from.
No,
And
exactly.
I was on another podcast last week and I told them, I'm like, even if you just want to reach out to someone who's experienced something similar, it doesn't even have to be a brain injury, but depression or anxiety, or I have obsessive compulsive disorder, any of those things, please reach out on social media. Like my handle is at sweetlifeflora and I'm willing to talk and chat with anyone. Like some of my really close friends that I've made in the plant community is because we reached out towards each other at the right time. And it was a time when, they needed to talk about something other than what was going on with them, or even if they did talk about what was going on with them, I was just another person who was non-judgmental, could totally just understand what they were going through. And if they needed to talk about it, I'm like that third party, and I'm totally open to
Yes,
that anytime.
yes, it is awesome. My next question is, I would like to know what inspired the name of your shop, Sweet Life Flora.
Actually, it's kind of a bit of an inside joke with my sister and I, but I'm willing to let you all in. So my sister's in the military as well. She went to military college. She's an officer just like I was. And we always talk about how we want to work together once we're both out of the military. Now, I was medically released before I expected to get out. So we always used to like envision about what our sweet life would look like once we're out of the military. And so when Carrie helped me figure out that, Sweet Life Flora, a plant shop was what I needed to do, I knew that eventually it would include her. And she is honestly a huge part of my business. She helps me out. I had shoulder surgery recently and she's been helping me out so much. She helps pack and ship and she does this as a second job. But when she's out in a few years, we're going to be like a sister duo
That's
for this
awesome.
business. Yeah, so
Very
Sweet
awesome.
Life Flora is talking about how we want to have a sweet life working together and have a sweet life hanging out with our plants.
That's great. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's just a funny thing we used to talk about and then we just incorporated it.
That's amazing. For the last part of the interview, my question will be 100% plant related. I want to know
So,
more about you as a plant enthusiast.
okay.
So my first question is, right now, if you could only pick one, what would have to be your favorite plant in your collection and why?
So when you originally said you were going to ask this question, I really couldn't decide. So I've got like
It's hard to decide what
three
is your
plants
favorite
here that
plant.
I'm still trying to figure out which is my favorite one. But I think I've even brought them over. Is my Philodendron strawberry shake.
It is, oh my God, it is perfect.
So I've had this one for about 3 years before strawberry shakes were even like a thing. It's a
Okay.
variegated red emerald. So it's honestly just like the Albo Monstera, it comes with a little bit of a genetic tweak, and some of them have different variegation. So
It
this
is
is
a
currently
super
my favorite plant.
beautiful. It is super beautiful. I didn't have that in my collection yet, but I
Lots
am
more
searching
Sweet Life
for one.
Flora
Yes, I will. I will. I will buy you one.
in the spring.
In spring?
Yep. So
Okay.
we're closed for now. And the only reason why we're closed is because I'm in school. Number one, I'm taking horticultural industries at Algonquin. And also because I don't find that the risk of shipping in the cold is really worth the potential damage to the plant.
Exactly. I understand.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I've
because
done a huge import. I've gotten like 6 different imports from 6 different countries, and they're all acclimating, so they'll be huge and rooted and beautiful come the end of March.
I just can't wait. I will be there on your website. I never bought from you before. I
You know
don't
what?
know why. I just
I I think that it's because like um you're fairly new to the community. I've only been in business for a year and a little bit. So I think maybe we just crossed paths and just didn't intersect until now.
exactly.
And now it's fabulous.
Yes, I will definitely order from you in
Awesome.
March. So I
Mhm.
hope I'm going to get my hand on that strawberry shake. My second question is, what is your favorite plant genus and why?
Okay, so philodendrons. I have 7 plant shelves of my personal collection, and they're those like big racks. Um, and 3 of them are dedicated to philodendrons.
Okay.
The reason why is because number one, they are super, super hardy. They have very consistent requirements. So the plants that I can't take care of, it's because they don't do well in my environment, because my environment has been completely tailored to tropical plants, like specifically to philodendrons, monsteras, and sort of that hardy aroid side of the family. So yeah, definitely philodendrons, and there's so many colors and variations and variegations, and this, it's limitless with philodendrons.
I feel the same with philodendrons.
Yeah,
This is
are they your
my
favorite genus too?
favorite genus. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now I am into Oyas too.
Hmm.
I kind of
Again,
really love
limitless.
them. Yeah.
So I have a friend, a close friend in Ottawa who's into anthuriums, and she's sort of given me the bug a little bit. Like, this is one that she recommended.
Okay.
It's just an Anthurium crystallinum, but it's an Anthurium crystallinum silver. So all of the veins are extended out past the actual vein point. It's amazing. It's so
Yes,
pretty.
it is
So
pretty. Anthuriums
Anthurium,
are super pretty in general.
yeah, like I prefer them for their foliage
Yes,
rather than their flowers.
yes, me too.
Yeah, so the ones you find in the grocery store, their flowers are beautiful and they last forever. But I would be okay if you just chopped them off and I was just left with the leaf.
Yes, exactly the same. They are amazing. I don't own a lot of Anthurium right now at
Mhm.
home, but the ones that I have, it is like I am processing them like a little bit. I
Yeah,
am
you're figuring it out.
experimented, yeah, exactly. And um, they've been very amazing to me right now. So I hope I will own a lot more Anthurium in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see the Anthurium regale?
Oh, yeah, it's gorgeous, isn't it?
Yes, it
I
is.
love it. It's new leaves. Oh, they're so stunning. Go look it up, folks, if you haven't seen a new leaf of an Anthurium regale. Like, beautiful.
You need to see that. I will probably put a photo just right there.
Yeah, perfect.
I
You
will.
definitely should.
um, for plant beginners, what plant would you recommend to start with and why?
Okay, so this question is actually, I'm going to go back on my own experience and what I started out with. So I started out with a lot of Sansevierias, but they're now in the Dracaena family. So they've just recently changed names. So if you're looking for them and you can't find something that's a Sansevieria, look for a Dracaena.
Yes,
This is a Sansevieria or a Dracaena moonshine. And I got this at I can't remember which greenhouse, but it was like $5 for a little one. It's
that
so economical and they last forever and they will love you forever. The other
yes,
thing, actually, and here's my surprise for you, Jonathan. So, if in case Jonathan hasn't told you yet, we are going to do a giveaway
yes,
of
I
a
will.
signed copy of my book, but then I'm also including in something special. I'm including in a Manjula pothos.
It is beautiful.
Yeah. So it's going to be a super fun giveaway. I'll let Jonathan give you all the details. But it is such a beautiful pothos. Really, any pothos will always make you happy. They are long lasting. They're a great, easy philodendron. Their watering and sunlight requirements aren't that complicated. So I would say a pothos or a Dracaena / Sansevieria are the best ways to start.
Yes, exactly. And the Manjula photos, it is funny that you show one with us right now because I got mine yesterday.
Oh,
Yes,
yay!
I got one of Manjula photos yesterday, and it is super funny because I don't know, it is just
It's kismet. It was meant to be.
exactly. But it is such a beautiful plant for real. It is an awesome plant, and it looks not too fancy to care
Exactly.
for. Yes,
It's common enough that you can still stumble upon them in the grocery stores, but uncommon enough that people are still like clamoring for them.
yes,
They are still
exactly.
looking for them everywhere because they're hard to find. They're like a sport of another pothos species. So it's kind of just, if you stumble across it, then you're lucky. But I know that these ones have specifically been curated with the Manjula sport taken out. So most of your leaves will come out looking like this.
It is beautiful.
I love
It
it.
looks like a piece of art. Like
Mm-hmm.
I
All
don't know.
plants are art.
Yeah, exactly.
Mother Nature's art.
Exactly. Mother Nature is an art piece.
Yeah, she's got it right.
Finally, all plant lovers have this little wish list of beauties they would like to get. What is the plant that you would love to get your hands on in the next year?
So I've been searching for it everywhere with my own vendors, and I've been searching for it in Canada too, because I'm totally all about supporting other Canadian plant businesses. I will buy from someone if you have what I want. I'm
Exactly.
looking
I'm the
for,
same.
absolutely,
Yes,
I might be a seller, but I'm a-okay supporting another business. I think we're all in this together. I'm looking for a Philodendron Whipple way.
Whipple Way.
Yeah, so you'll have to look for it. It's another one of those variegated, longer leafed philodendrons. It's so beautiful. I'd
Yes,
show
I
you
am
one,
in the search of that one too.
but I don't have one.
It is surprising. It surprised me because you don't have that one, and I am searching for that one. I know that Urban Green Room
Yep,
uh,
Tim.
got got it, so
Mhm.
not sure if he's going to sell some soon.
I totally understand if he doesn't want to cut it up. It's
Yeah,
shockingly beautiful.
it is gorgeous.
Hmm.
It is an amazing and gorgeous plant.
It's interesting though that philodendrons that have like a lot of variegation on their leaves generally don't ship well. So I've shipped Albo monsteras from overseas, and they're some of the ones that I have the hardest time acclimating.
Yeah,
I know that other people who've gotten cuttings and things have a really hard time getting it to take root. So I've heard that the Whipple way is very similar, that if you're getting it from overseas, it can go through some traumatic experience, and
okay.
sometimes it's a little tough to get through that.
This is the only Monstera I don't own right now is Monstera albo.
Hmm. They are shockingly expensive right now.
Yes, I know.
So
That's why my boyfriend told me that he didn't want to spend that much money for a plant that could revert. You
yeah,
know?
but also if you have to choose between food and rent, I would rather you guys choose that than buying a plant.
Yes, exactly.
So my understanding is that so they're super expensive for us as sellers to import right now. But like everything, fads will slowly start to fade away and they'll get less expensive.
Exactly.
So a really good example of this is the Philodendron Birkin. Um, this one that I got like 2 years ago, actually from Tim, cost me like $150. But now you
Yeah,
can get them tissue cultured from Florida in greenhouses. And this
yeah.
one cost me 20.
I have mine just right behind me.
Yeah, they're phenomenal. Like honestly, it's here because it's still one of my favorite plants.
Yes, it is beautiful, and not everyone's like them. I don't know why.
So I think some people just have preferences as to whether they like their variegation scattered versus like something that's a little more unpredictable like this, or
Like that.
whether it's like ingrained in the veins. But to each their own, you know, like I will always try to have Birkins in stock even and make them cost effective because they are one of the easiest, most beautiful plants that you can
Yes,
get.
they are very easy, and it's like the Totem. It's like you, you have the people that doesn't like them and the people that loves them. Like,
For me, if it's a philodendron, I'm all in.
yeah, I have a Totem at home,
Yep.
and it is absolutely a plant favorite for me. It is growing so much fast.
Hmm.
It is,
You must be providing it like excellent conditions, like conditions that are specific for it. Because tortoms, especially when they're coming out, when they're emerging, their leaves look all wonky
yes,
and it can go bad really fast. So you must have primo conditions.
yes, it is in my greenhouse. So
Yeah.
yes, but it's a beautiful plant.
Yeah, I love
It's
it.
one of my all-time favorite right now.
I think you're into those weird leaves.
Yes,
I'll
I
have to
love
show
that.
you a few plants later.
It is like the Tim Burton of the plant.
Ah, exactly. That's a really good example.
Yeah,
Yeah, like the nightmare before planted.
yes, they are creepy looking when they go out, and
I love it.
I love them. Yes, I absolutely love them. Sorry.
Nope.
Well, just before I let you go, I have one last thing I would like to share with the viewers. If you too would like to get the chance to read Kristen's book, Propagated from the Ashes, this is your chance. All you have to do to participate in special giveaway is follow Kristen and I on Instagram and share my Instagram post in your story. A copy of Propagated from the Ashes will be sent by mail to one special winner, and you add a Manjula photos.
I do.
So it is an amazing prize. The draw will be done through a live Instagram video on November 27th. So you have 1 week from now to participate to the giveaway. And once again, thank you so much, Kristin, for taking the time of chatting with me today and sharing more information about your journey with everyone. You are a true inspiration.
Thank you so much. And if anybody's wondering, you can get my book on Amazon. Just look up Propagated from the Ashes and it's right there. And again, if anybody needs to chat, I'm on Instagram at sweetlifeflora.
Perfect. And I will link your book down below, just in my comments, so you will be able to purchase that book via my description.
Amazing.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jonathan, so much. I really appreciate the opportunity.
We need to do another video soon.
Yep, for
Maybe
sure. I'm down.
We'll be back.
Yes!
Back in town.
Oh, I'm totally gonna fangirl.
Okay, perfect. So we're going to do that very soon. I will.
Why don't we aim for like December?
Yes, that could be awesome.
Yeah, because I can like show you guys a little bit about the fundraiser that my sister and I are doing. Because we're going to do a fundraiser with Christmas cactuses as well as air plant ornaments.
Perfect, not a problem. So we have to schedule that for December, for sure.
Perfect. Anytime, Jonathan.
Thank you very much. I love you so much. You are.
I love you too. Thank you.
Awesome, and I am happy to know you well now.
Yeah, absolutely. This is just another one of those plant community contacts that I'm so excited to have.
Me too. Bye
I will
bye.
talk to you later. Bye.